We are discussing concrete ways that we can resist the Supreme Court on a local level with our families, and then from there it can grow. Here's number 3. Resist, refuse, and steady your soul for persecution. Some of us are going to have to make difficult decisions. Some of us will have to refuse to resist the encroachment of this evil in our churches, in our schools, in our workplaces, with our personal businesses, with our families. For some of us, it might mean taking our children or grandchildren out of government schools immediately. We must resist. For some of us, it's going to mean that our business comes under attack because we refuse to participate in a homosexual wedding. Okay? It's coming, people. Refuse, resist, and steady your soul for persecution. Count the cost and get ready. 4th, stand with the persecuted. As the persecution rises, we have to obey God's word. In the book of Hebrews, it says, remember those who are in prison as though in prison with them, and those who are ill-treated, since you are also in the body. We are required to stand with people who are suffering abuse. We might have to help their families in any number of ways. There's going to be people who have to stand for the faith, stand for the truth in a way that we don't have to, and they're going to suffer. We have to stand with them. 5th, be prepared for the coming hardships, just in case. In the Bible, we see that's what happened when God brought chastening, okay? There were droughts, there were famines, hardships, right? Droughts, famines, enemy occupations, thefts, all right? Think of Gideon, one of the judges, one of the heroes of the faith. Think of Gideon threshing wheat in a wine press. That's miserable, okay? Wine presses are down and they're made to squish wine. There's no wind. When you thresh wheat, you want there to be wind so it blows the chaff away. So he's down in this thing made for wine, trying to thresh wheat, and all the chaff is going to just be coming down on him, sticking on him. Would have been miserable. Okay? It's in Judges chapter 6. But what was he doing? He was hiding food from the enemy. And he was providing for his family because the enemy was going to come in every year. The enemy was coming in every year and stealing food. So he was thinking, and he was hiding food from the enemy, and he was providing for his family. Listen, if God punishes America with upheaval, it would be good to have some food, some water, and some self-defense capabilities. Okay? This is not fear. It's not a lack of faith. It's wisdom. If you have a lot of food at your house and you don't have the ability to defend yourself, you're what I call an IFP, an involuntary food pantry. All right, 6th, we should be ready to support any official, any city, any county, any state that refuses to comply with the Supreme Court's tyranny in Obergefell. I believe that if a state someday wants to secede from the Union, if they'll protect babies and marriage, we should let them. And we should loudly condemn any federal government effort to force them to stay in this lawless, tyrannical union. Okay? If a state wants to leave for truly righteous and just reasons, I believe we need to be ready to support them. All right, 7th, please hear this one. We need to call for the impeachment of these 5 evil judges. Look at their faces. Learn their names. Kagan, Sotomayor, Breyer, Kennedy, and Ginsburg. These are the villains. These are the bad guys. It doesn't matter if they smile. It doesn't matter if they're articulate. It doesn't matter if they're cute in an interview. They are tyrants. They are enemies of God, enemies of righteousness. And we need to fight to have them impeached and we need to fight to reform the judiciary. Listen to me. Our nation has become a moral cesspool, primarily through the judiciary. The leaders of the U.S. House and the U.S. Senate should do their duty and begin impeachment proceedings against these 5 judges. The judges clearly violated their oath of office, all right? They're clearly involved in what Justice Kennedy called a putsch, an overthrow of the government. Now, I know that Boehner and McConnell don't have the spine, they don't have the wisdom, they don't have the heart, they don't have the fear of God to do their duty. But we can still call for it. I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, I'll give you some specific ways that we can keep involved in the political process. Don't go away. Do you want to get America out of the hands of wicked and unjust men and women who are destroying the republic before our eyes, and put leadership back into the hands of righteous men and women so that we don't die as a nation? Well, you're talking about social revolution, and there are rules in social revolution. We can look at the victorious social revolutions of the past, such as the end of slavery, the end of child labor, women's voting rights, the end of segregation, and so much more, and learn from their victories. Look at their actions, their images, their rhetoric, their sacrifices, and their final fruit. We will send you this series that originally cost $129, 7 books for students, 1 teacher's guide, if you'll give a gift of any size and just pay for shipping and handling. Take advantage of it today.